Alright, so raise of hands, how many of you know your current grade in all of your classes? Yeah, that's what I thought. How many of you wish you knew your current grade in all of your classes? Well, the solution to that, but I'll get to that in a second. Currently, the College of Worcester lacks an efficient, uniform method for checking grades, and the solution is to install the online grading system that Sarah talked about. First, in this speech, I will identify the problem. Then I'll explain the technology available to us that will help solve this problem. After that, I'll explain the effects of this technology, and I'll conclude with what you can do to help implement this solution. So the problem, well, there's no proficient way to check your grades right now at the College of Worcester. Let me go further. It's a hassle and takes a lot of time to check your grades, which should only take 3 minutes. Currently, if you want to figure out your grade for class, you probably approach your teacher after class asking what your grade is. He or she doesn't know off the top of their head. So you'll have to walk to their office, which could take time because Professor Wick's office isn't even in the same building she teaches in. And even still, sometimes you can't find your grade. I approached my Spanish teacher the other week and I said, Professor, I'd like to see my overall grade. And she told me I had to bring in all my old quizzes and tests, which I thought was ridiculous because I lost half of my old quizzes. On the other hand, I do have a professor, Professor Pozeski of the Russian department, who told me who posts his grades on Moodle. But that's only 1 out of 8 of my teachers that actually post their grades on Moodle. And on top of that, he only posts individual grades for individual assignments, so I don't know my cumulative grade in the class currently. The problem also is that because of this, teachers are also not as accountable as they should be. Teachers can end up inputting the wrong grade into their grade book, which could drastically change your grade. Now, I'm not saying a teacher would purposely put in a wrong grade, but let's say you got an 88 out of 100 on test, and the teacher goes and types in the grade, but they accidentally press a 7 instead of an 8, and now you have a 78 out of an 88, or a 78 instead of an 88 out of 100. And that could drastically affect your grade. Your A could turn into an F. So you're probably thinking, what's the big deal? Well, this is a serious problem at the College of Worcester. A lack of a system for checking grades can result in a wrong grade, as I just explained. And I think that's a pretty clear issue. You deserve the grade you earned, nothing higher, nothing lower. Also, if you don't know your grades, you might never realize how far behind you are in a class, which could lead to you end up failing the class and maybe even worse, dropping out of school. I spoke with sophomore Dean Marchitelli on April 28th, and he told me again, I used to see you saying words to me, it's a pain in the ass that we do not know our current grades. He told me the last semester he was taking financial accounting for last year, and it was a really hard class at the college. And he didn't find out until the last week of the semester that he was actually near failing the class. He thought he was doing fine with a C average, and in fact he really had a low D average. And that was all because he wasn't able to check his grade. So why should you care? Well, I think it's pretty clear, but we're all here to get a good education so we can get a good job, but no one's going to hire you if you don't have a good grade. So all of us here care about our grades. We want to see our grades. And if you don't see your grade, well, I'm not too worried because you probably won't be here too long. So the solution. Well, the College of Worcester needs an online grading system that can be accessed anytime by either teachers or students. And that online grading system is PowerSchool. You might be wondering, well, what is PowerSchool? PowerSchool is a company. It's owned by Apple, and it's an internet-based teacher, student, and school data management program. So the school will buy it, install it on their computers, and once it's installed, it serves a variety of functions. An article in the Mac Observer, dated March 14, 2001, stated that PowerSchool offers, to name a few, scheduling manager, integrated gradebook transcripts, attendance records, electronic progress reports, and the list goes on, but for our purposes, it's important to focus on the grading and attendance aspects of PowerSchool. Basically, it's an integrated online program where professors will input the individual grades for each assignment, and then the program calculates the final grade based on the professor's personal grading rubric that they set up before the semester started. However, what's crucial about this program is that students can access PowerSchool anytime they want, and they can see their individual grades. They just need to plug in their given username and password. According to the PowerSchool website, which I accessed on April 25th, there are currently 10 million students who use PowerSchool across all 50 states and in 65 countries. So how will this fix the problem? Well, PowerSchool offers efficient and uniform method for checking the grades, which the college is currently void of. Students can check their grades whenever they like, as long as they have access to an internet or smartphone, which I'm sure all of you have. PR Web article on April 4th, 2012 stated that PowerSchool has an iPhone app, which recently won a Cool Tool Award from EdTech Digest. What's also great at PowerSchool is that students can check on which area they need to improve on. They can check their grades and say, oh wow, my participation grades are low, my homework grades are low. I need to step up on my homework, I need to step up on my participation. It also holds teachers accountable because now students can double check, make sure teachers are putting in the right grade, and if they do find an error, well, they can approach a teacher and I'm sure the error will be fixed. PowerSchool also solves other problems that are unrelated to grading, like attendance. Professors are able to take attendance on PowerSchool rather than on a piece of paper and pen, which will save the environment, which I'm sure Madeline will love. And then when you access PowerSchool, next to each of your classes, it will show your grade, but it will also show how many tardies you had and how many absences you had. I interviewed Professor Wick on April 3rd, 2012, and she stated that this concept would make this attendance concept would make being a professor a whole lot easier. It would also make it easier for students because you could be able to see if you're near that critical third absence that Colin addressed in his speech. So how do I know that this plan will work? Well, I had PowerSchool in high school, and it was perfect. I was able to check my grades whenever I pleased. I love PowerSchool, and my teachers loved it too. I interviewed my former Latin teacher, Mr. Tozer Hammond, on April 10th, and he raved about the efficiency of PowerSchool. He stated that PowerSchool allowed him to focus on actually teaching rather than on the unrelated hassles that sort of come with a job, like calculating that final grade. To be honest, it's been a hard transition to college without PowerSchool. So you might be asking some questions. You're probably wondering about privacy. Well, don't worry. You got your own username and password, so as long as you don't go giving out your password, no one will be able to see your grades. You're probably also worried about your parents, because if you can see your grades anytime you want, that means your parents can probably see your grades anytime you want. And it's true, and it's kind of a pain in the butt. I mean, your parents maybe aren't paying for your college. They most likely love you and they care about you, so they only want to see your grades if they're trying to help you out. And if you're really that worried that your parents are going to see your grades, it's probably because you're not doing that well anyways. It's probably a good thing to see your grade. Now, looking to the future. Many of you are probably stressed about the upcoming finals that we have because you don't know what grade you're going to end up in the year. Well, imagine the PowerSchool were installed. You have a really good idea. In minutes, you know that, well, I have an A- in Spanish, and the final is only 15% of the grade, so as long as I get a D+ or higher on the final, I'll have at least a B in the class. That would alleviate a lot of stress. For you teachers, end of the year means calculating final grades, and that sounds like a hassle. But wait, with PowerSchool, you don't even need to do that. PowerSchool will calculate the grade for you, and you got no work to do. So, now that I've told you about the problem here, the solution that PowerSchool offers, and helped you envision a stress-free life with PowerSchool, you're probably wondering, well, what can I do to help get PowerSchool? Well, the most obvious answer is to write a letter to the Dean or President Cornwell, tell a professor, or write to the SGA, but I'm sure most of you won't do that because I don't even know if I would do it. But, so I created a Facebook group, I invited all of you, and it outlines the issue. And by joining the group, you are agreeing that the College of Worcester needs this online grading system. Hopefully, with a lot of members, someone high up, maybe the president will see, and other type of people that can take action. So to conclude, I'm hoping that the next time I ask you if you guys know your overall grade in all of your classes, all of you will be able to raise your hand and say yes. And that's it. Anyone got questions?
All right, so you mentioned it's an Apple program, so it's going to have like an iPhone or a Mac in order to access it, or could it be accessed?
Yes, since it's an Apple program, you have to have a Mac to access it. No. I'm not sure if they have it. It might only be an iPhone to check on your phone, but you can check it on a PC. It's online, so you just go to the PowerSchool website, type in username and password, pulls up the grades.
I have something like this in high school, and it's called Blackboard. But a lot of times the teachers didn't know how to, use the program because it's so sort of tech forward, I guess. So how would you work around with teachers who don't know how to use technology?
She was asking, what do you do when teachers don't know how to use the technology? Well, when I was researching PowerSchool, it says that when you actually buy the program, it comes with someone will come in and you get like a seminar or whatever, and someone will come in and teach the program to all the teachers. So that could help alleviate probably all that.
Do you know what it costs? And if so, what would administrators say about that?
She asked what it costs. Honestly, I looked it up constantly. I couldn't find it. I have no idea.
So along with her, I also had a similar program in high school, and oftentimes teachers would prefer to use a more paper version and then update once a month or something of that nature. So what can you do, I guess, to encourage professors to use the system and frequently update?
She asked what we can do to encourage professors to use the system rather than pen and paper. Honestly, I don't know. I feel like it's a lot easier. I feel like as soon as they get started, they'll figure out that it's better than writing down individual grades and then using a calculator to figure it out. I don't know. This is up to the school. They can always make sort of PowerSchool use mandatory, so that way students can always see their grades. Thank you.